Thank you all for coming. This press conference is hosted by Northern Plains Resource Council. Northern Plains is a grassroots conservation and family agricultural group that organizes Montana citizens to protect our water quality, family farms, and ranches, and unique quality of life. My name is Cindy Weber. I am a longtime member of Northern Plains. I live with my husband on our ranch south of Big Timber in Sweetgrass County. Northern Plains members have traveled a total of 14,600 miles to be here today, supporting bills that provide landowner protection where oil and gas development is taking place. Senate Bill 117 Bill 117, sponsored by Senator Mary McNally, would institute a 1,000-foot setback between oil and gas wells and surface water or habitable buildings. Senate Bill 173, sponsored by Senator Christine Kaufman, would increase Montana's bonding requirements for oil and gas wells to protect taxpayers from paying to clean up abandoned wells. And House Bill 253, sponsored by Virginia Court, would exclude the use of reserved pits and ponds during oil and gas development in favor of a closed-loop system that would recycle drilling muds and prevent fluid from coming into contact with surrounding soils. Finally, we are here to support Senate Bill 172, sponsored by Senator Sharon Stewart Peregrine.
Thank you all for coming. Just quickly and briefly, Senate Bill 172 protects landowners and the oil and gas industry. It's talking about developing baseline water testing that's needed with oil and gas development all over Montana. The quality of the groundwater can affect not only our health, as we have found, but also society and the economy. Groundwater contamination can adversely affect property values, the image of a community, economic development, and the overall quality of life that we so hold dear in the state of Montana. Clean water at a reasonable cost is essential, and in many parts of Montana, groundwater is the only economical source of water that is available. Once groundwater has been contaminated, it is usually very difficult and costly to clean. Currently, the quality of water from private water supplies, such as those from wells at individual homes, are not regulated. And it is the responsibility, it becomes the responsibility and the burden of the well owner to ensure that there is safe drinking water supplied for their needs in their homes and stock. The testing before oil and gas development is very expensive at times, costing over $5,000 for a single test. These costs should not be pushed on Montanans. If a company wants to develop oil and gas resources in Montana, they should pay their fair share to protect themselves and the surface owner where they drill. Senate Bill 172 would remove the ambiguity about whether there is any relationship between drilling and groundwater contamination. The law would prevent controversial cases like those in Pavilion, Wyoming, where an absence of baseline water quality testing makes it difficult to conclusively establish or disprove whether drilling played a role in area quality, water quality issues. The current water contamination that exists in Poplar, Montana, from oil development, the 2011 and also 2011 Exxon oil spill, and the current oil spill again into the Yellowstone River, demonstrates that oil and gas production extraction is not a perfect and risk-free practice, SB 172 would put landowner protections in place that will help us identify how and where water contamination has occurred. This bill does not recreate the wheel. We are utilizing the stipulations from Wyoming that stipulates that operators perform initial baseline water testing. And then after, within a on water resources within a half-mile radius. That's the Wyoming solution. Also, Colorado's baseline water testing rule which became effective on May 1st, 2013, Colorado becomes the first state in the nation to implement a statewide mandatory baseline water sampling program for oil and gas companies. I believe Montana should follow suit. This will strengthen and ensure that the quality of our water remains clean and for all future Montanans for the next 7 generations. Thank you.
And now we're going to hear from Tina Hoff.
Hi, thank you all for being here. And okay. I'm an irrigated farmer in Glendive on the Yellowstone River, and literally the latest spill into the Yellowstone is right in my backyard across the fence from my sheep pasture. People in Glendive are starting to feel like we are the sacrifice area for oil and gas development in Montana. We have a toxic waste dump that's getting lots of toxic waste from the oil fields in the Bakken, North Dakota. We have a chemical plant that's going to be making hydrochloric acid, which I didn't know was used in fracking. We're going to be having train car loads of chlorine coming to manufacture hydrochloric acid for oil and gas development in the Bakken. The bills that are up today, or the hearings that are up today, every single one of those bills is going to help in protecting landowners and protecting water. We are all in this state all about water. We should be all about water, and the companies want to play, then they need to pay. And so everything from exploration to the reclamation to the shipping of this oil has to be done right. And that means accountability, and it's up to every single one of us as citizens and everybody as legislators to make sure that that happens, because this is Montana's water. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to Montana, and we need to take care of it. Our survival depends on it. Thanks.